Okay, I will give. Looks like people are already joining. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. We got it going this time. We will do live demo of this thing. I am not going to let it stop us. Yes. Give everybody a second. Make sure Paul's on. Where's he at? And I did a reboot and I think we're good. So I already imported my machine. Yes. Yes. All right. Let's do this. You got a couple minutes. It's recorded. All this stuff is recorded, so you can come back later and check this out. So yeah, let me get rid of the slides. Let's just go right into my VM so that I know it works, and make sure I can bring up the VM. So yeah, let's go ahead and hop into what and where does AppLocker live. This is just a Windows 11 machine. I try to test this on both. So I have a server that I was doing some stuff with, and then I have the Win 11 box. So it's not domain joined. Pretty just like deploy. Can I implement? Can I import policy and things like that? So if you haven't messed with AppLocker before, it's typically under secpol. So even if you just typed in secpol security policy, local security policy, you can get there from there too. In this case, I'm just in the local GP edit, and I'm just going to go to security settings, and then I'll go down to app control policies. And inside here is kind of where all the magic happens for AppLocker. And so in this case, I do have some rules in here, but high level, right? Like it looks like it's from 1998 or 99, maybe 2002 still. Everything you can click on or modify in the UI, you can do in, I think you can do most all of it in PowerShell, but you could definitely do it all inside your policy XML. Either you get the XML from, one you've generated or AppLockerGen, things like that. But all the enforcement kind of happens here. So when you import a policy XML, you can specify like whether it's enforced or not, or just sitting in audit mode, things like that. It's funny, I thought earlier I set this to audit, but maybe not. There is a really interesting thing. You can audit, like in Sysmon, you can audit or you can track or monitor all your DLL usage or DLLs, module loads and things like that into processes. You can kind of do the same with AppLocker, and it just says like it'll affect system performance and things like that. But just a simple box, simple person in a simple world, so you can enable it. And then just goofing off locally, when you right click one of the policy types here, you can automatically generate the rules. You can do default rules. And I mentioned earlier, when you generate the default rules, the way it works, right, is what we're saying is that it will allow scripts from program files and Windows folder. And you can double tap into these and see the path that it's calling. So it's literally just saying Winder. You can make exceptions straight here on the actual policy itself, and whatnot. So you can really go into these, or if you're just like, no, like anything in the Windows directory, I'm just going to deny it, which would be total fun. Maybe that's a Friday activity. And then, like I mentioned with the administrator, a default rule is all files are allowed with the administrator. And so you can kind of actually, if you wanted to just deploy one policy, like you could literally just say, just generate all the default rules for me, and it'll go through and generate all the default rules, allowing everyone to have signed packages, or allow everyone to load Microsoft Windows DLLs. Like, how does it know that? Winder, there's no exceptions yet. Yeah, you can make exceptions by path or file hash, things like that. Yeah, you can play with this stuff. It's kind of neat. And then if you wanted to import a policy, It's as simple as right click at the top level of App Locker and then hit import. I guess real quick, I should show you this. So you can do automatically generate rules. And so like if you want to specify only certain, you have a golden image or something, you want to specify only certain things can run, like say out of this Notepad Plus directory, you can go to a directory, click on that, and you can tell it like create publisher rules for the file hash or by path, whichever, or create file hash rules for all rules, things like that. You can really, I'm not gonna say really granular, but it's something. Then hit next, and it'll tell you what it did. And if you want to review what they are going to do within this, you can see here there's Notepad, uninstall, and gup.exe in there. And you can see the publisher info and the path as well. So you said, hey, yeah, that's a good idea. View the rules. I think I just did that. And then, oh wait, that's different. It's gonna do publisher, a file hash, and a publisher for this, which is kind of neat. So you hit create. So now these will be allowed to run if I deployed it. So it'd be in my organization, I would basically be saying this particular version by publisher would be able to run out there. So yeah, that's AppLocker, right? It's kind of how it works. And so let's go ahead and import or click create new rule just to kind of show you this too. So like if you're just like, hey, I want to deny, a path rule because maybe, if you're like me, you don't remember every path everything runs out of, and you're just like, hey, I just want to deny everything out of temp, every executable type, and you can do your exceptions right here. And that's it. You could leave a little description, testing, create, and that's what a deny looks like. Now, if you're using AppLockerGen, you'll click up here at the top. Real quick, actually, another thing just to kind of show, you can clear the whole policy right here at the top. So if you want to start fresh, clear it all out, all done, 14 things removed, and you can see all the enforcement levels I had in here completely gone. Everything we created as a group here today is gone. So in this case, I'll do import policy, and you're like, whoa, Haig, like, do you really need that many? I'm not sure. I don't know. Everybody's going to be different for this. So let's click on that one. I don't know what's in there, but let's click it. So it asks you like, hey, this will replace, it does replace existing. So again, in an organization, you'll want to create a new actual group policy object and import it into that new object so that if you do have multiples, you're not just going to like start wiping like all your prior work away, which would really stink if you didn't have like a backup. So yeah, so from there, at the top level here, it's telling you that there's 63 script rules that are not enforced. You can click it. It'll tell you the script rules that we imported. You have your default rules, and then you have all of these other ones down here that are set to deny. And now, again, with the default rules, it will deny everything, all these, by default anyway. And that's something I had to learn. It's kind of a weird, in my brain, it still kind of trips me up a little bit because it's like, why would I want to specify it then if it's just going to deny if I use default rules? But I think in particular, when you're using tools like WebEx or Zoom, and you have like a build server, different tools out there in the organization. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's blurry either. Let's both sides. You can see it's just not, yeah, I know. Maybe it's actually my VM. Real quick, let's fix the VM. How's that? No, it just looks crazy. Thanks for that, though. Let me see. Nope. Should be, I don't want to mess with the settings because if I do, what if we lose my screen share? Well, I can't zoom in. Hopefully you can see it. Maybe the recording will be better. Wish I could zoom in. All right. Sorry, quick technical glitch. Maybe make it smaller. What if we full screen it? That doesn't look any better. I feel like we just need to make it like, just Windows 11 still have the magnifier. Yes. Whoa, that's that's big, but I think that helps. Okay. Um, Too bad I don't know how to use the magnifier, so this will get interesting. So, here, I think that's the box right here. Okay, cool. Thank you. Let's back that down a little bit, buddy. Okay. How's that? 100%? Okay, that's blurry. Can you like specify? Nope. It's just like all or nothing. All right, we'll zoom in as we need to. So yeah, like I mentioned, the default rules again will basically almost supersede all these deny rules that I just made, which is kind of silly. So it's like, why create that? So the only thing, like I was mentioning, was the only thing I can think of is if you're using utilities like Zoom or different all kinds of software, right? We'll write things into these directories, and you may legitimately need to allow them, which might be where your like you might have to create a custom path rule with publisher. And that also comes down to if you can actually get the publisher out of these. So I think it just depends. It's all something you have to play with. And I think that's where AppLockerGen might help with like creating those quick policies like, yeah, we need to approve these paths or whatnot in my organization based on this audit data. So you can grab that audit data, chuck it in there, and hopefully it will look better. So yeah, yep. So uh, basically, all these policies right here are all ones that I generated using AppLockerGen. And so, like this one is just a combination policy I created. I'll zoom in here in just a second. This is a let me bring this down here. So zoom in, and this one is a executable rule with some script rules. I'm going to go to the executable here, zoom out, and then we will go back to the top. And then you can kind of see here, it's just basically has two of these drivers inside this deny policy. I'll zoom in, and it's based on the file hash. And so you can potentially block these two things for everyone in the organization based on that hash. This was related to lull drivers. So yeah, just different things playing with. Oh, it actually talks. Huh. All right. That's that. Let me see what else. I had notes. Let's see my notes. Where are those notes? I lost everything when I did the reboot because this thing needed apparently a nice little reboot. Where are we at? Where's my notes? What are we searching for? AppLockerGen. Okay. We showed all of that. We imported policies. We checked out GP edit. We walked through a couple different things. Let's look at those event viewer logs because there's nothing better than more tiny text. Zoom. What's it called? Magnifier. All right, bring it on in. Come on up. Okay. Same deal. So if you're on the AppLockerGen site, all the event codes are there, and I had to learn them. They were all new, fresh to me. I just like, I don't know what any of these are. But you can see, so 8007 is like your block. This was prevented from running, and just different data points. There is a note on the whole rule ID zeros here, and that is means it was prevented by, I think it's the default policies. And so if it's an actual rule that we specify and import, it'll actually give you the rule ID saying, hey, this was actually prevented by an actual piece that you implemented in your app locker policy. And a couple other little things. You can see some details here, and all of this goes into your SIM. So if you're looking at it from like a logging SIM perspective, you can actually pull, it's all XML, but you can pull all this in and you'll see like the rule name and things like that, which is really neat. The process, the file path, where this particular PSD1 file was coming in from. Can you just click on this? Oh, okay. Here we go. Figuring this out live. But yeah, you can get all this in Splunk or in your SIM, and you can play with it. A couple like policy name, script, whatever it may be. There's a full file path down there. It does give you like the fully qualified binary name, which is like that certificate name there. So that data is in here too. So Logging it in audit mode is probably like close to your secondary best friend if you really want to do this like heavily at scale. So yeah, I was just going to show you some other little event logs, and then yeah, I can let's see, we have a couple minutes. This is going to look even smaller, but we can enhance properties. Let's enhance 20. Let's go real big. Oh yeah. So I'm logged in. So a member administrator pretty much can run everything. And you can't see me because my head's down there. Let me move my head. There you go. I have a bunch of files in ctemp, and they're all just like hello world. And so like in this case, I'm just gonna be like, yo, let's run my test VBS file. And this is what it looks like, right? Just as the event logs we were seeing, like, hey, this will prevent it. VBE, all using Windows script host. And this is PowerShell, so we can run that hello PS1 file. And so note that it said hello world. It's very simple. It's just an echo. But if you look in the event logs, I think this is kind of weird. And I assume if I had more in here, it would be like, this was bad. Where's it at? Yeah, right here. Magnet fire, where you at? There you go. And if you zoom, boom. It was prevented from running, but I was like, well, why is it still echoing? I don't know. I thought that was funny. And then I wrote another test. Let's see. Where's that Bob? I thought there was another PowerShell one. Nope, that was it. So this stuff still works, and I actually don't think I don't tell it to block HTA. Yeah, I don't think so. So something I keep going back and forth on, maybe somebody knows like officially out there, and I put it in the AppLockerGen docs, streamlit.app. This came straight from Microsoft's stuff under Essentials here. This right here, this rule collection stuff. And, from what I kind of gather out of it, it will prevent most things. So it obviously, this is straight from Microsoft. Like it doesn't say VBE, but VBS, VBE are basically the same thing. One's encrypted or or JSE, that'll be prevented too. It's all using the same standard Windows script host. But if I write a rule for HTA or even like HTML, I notice a lot of the times that it won't prevent it. And I have a policy I created, and it's like tons and tons of like different right here. Go to the pre-built and go to block extensions, which is kind of the one we imported. And so like this one's focused on, these extensions, and some will be prevented, which is cool. But click over here, go this way. Yep. And it's like, these are obvious things to be prevented, kind of looking at it. Jar, I'd have to look into, but HTA, that's one to double check. And bats will be prevented. I don't know about WSF, but things like that, I'm still testing myself because I feel that it won't be prevented, and geeking out with this a lot. I haven't seen it block an HTA. So maybe I'm doing it right. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. I don't know. But I do feel like there is a little bit of a limitation on the amount of things it will prevent. So yeah, check it out. Play with it too. See what you think. What else? What else? What else? What else? I think that's it. We have already talked about lessons learned on the first stream because things break. Yeah, that's that. What else? Links. Yeah, throw some feedback, and really curious how you are using AppLocker in the enterprise. What cool things you prevent, or how you do your path rules, or if you're doing publisher rules and things like that. Really curious. But yeah, thanks again for joining. I hope you find this tool useful. I'm still writing my blog on AppLocker, and then I'll start digging into WDAC, which I'm excited about because WDAC is deep. That's probably the simple way to say it. But yeah, happy Friday. Hope you all have a great weekend out there. Be safe. Go lock some apps and deploy some ASR and reduce that attack surface. Happy Friday.